Hi there. Every so often an album gets released that sends pulses racing in expectation of what might be a truly special moment in musical history. Friends, from the set of albums released on the 22nd of March 2024, we have such an example. To date, we have been teased with just 2 releases from this album, meaning that the vast majority of the work hits the ears in a perfectly virginal state. I'm talking about the release of Audio Vertigo from the supremely articulate and uniquely English band Albo. This very originated Mancunian proud band gave us their 10th studio album on Polydor Records, with 12 tracks and 40 minutes of pure crafted imagination of how music could and should sound in 2024. 5 close friends became 4 recently, but that core, that nucleus of existence remains loud and proud. Unassumingly led by Guy Garvey, their lead singer, who Mojo described his lyrics like being sung with steamrolled Mancunian vowels intact, Garvey's elusive, playful lyrics are as golden as those of your Burmans and caves here, drawing on Wordsworth, but also name-checking Leo Sayer and the Jungle Book's affable bear Baloo, unquote. And before I get swept away in my own adoration, let's survey the tracks. Side 1 is 6 tracks, and starting off with things I've been telling myself for years. This is a song about a time when, due to his success, Garvey lost friends he thought would remain as friends, as well as dealing with the possibility of perhaps too many artificial stimulants. It's beautiful in its creation, simplicity and delivery, and goes straight for the jugular. It's a very impressive start. Lover's Leaf was the debut single from the album that I did a full review on my Patreon reaction and request channel that you can watch for free. I'll put a link in the description below. It has that glorious sound of those 80s German band Yellow to it that was so infectious at the time, whereby you're simply unable to stop your feet tapping. Garvey says of this one, the song was designed not to reflect, but to distract from the bad things happening in the world. We found seedy, gnarly grooves playing in back rooms, and those pulled some dark memories and plenty of humour from me, unquote. Where Is It is a short bit of interplay between the band on the merits of a riff that's been created. Garvey says, "Give it fat wide wheels," which the band duly obliged on the next track. Now this is a homage to Disney and all those safari documentaries which we all used to watch as kids, as the track Baloo plays. This was the second track released from the album, and it's a mashup of synthesizers and horns, and a sound as big as anything I've heard from the band in ages, with some brilliant backing vocals to boot. It's about a failed relationship, but I just see myself sweeping across the plains in search of lions or elephants in the back of an open-topped Land Rover. I just can't help it. Newcomer Alex Reeves here is exceptional on the drums and percussion for this particular track. Very Heaven is as good a track as any in the band's stellar catalogue. Mixes rock influences with some crystal clear harmonies. It's always on the move between rock vocals and acoustic passages. Her to the Earth closes side 1 and starts off something like Casey and the Sunshine Band released in the 80s, the name of which escapes me. But stop right there. It soon creates its own identity. The song ticks away in an utterly controlled manner with some excellent vocal support to Garvey's double-track vocals and a bridge line reminiscent of An Imaginary Affair from the Leaders album. I wish I had the insight to give an accurate insight into the lyrics, but I don't, and all I can say is that it's another great track. And this first side has simply whistled through in an amazingly speedy journey of musical perfection. So no pressure then on side 2 then, eh? This starts off with the picture, and begins at a brisk pace with a litany of lyrics from Garvey before leading into an explosive chorus. This feels like the reference to a failed romance from a long time ago, where perhaps the only evidence is this picture that we're talking about, whether it be real or in the memory. For some reason, as I listen to it, this reminds me of some Bowie track that, again, I can't quite place. But that may well just be the ultimate skill of this band, to trick you into thinking you've heard it all before, you know? Poker Face is next, and is a short track, but is dark and introspective. It looks back at youth before the album moves into Knife Fight, which is a true story about an altercation Garvey witnessed when on a holiday in Turkey. He still manages to see the funny side of things, though, as he writes, "The fellas left together, laughing and bleeding. Oh, and the moon was full." It served to make the point, though, that far too often we are quick to enter into confrontation instead of looking into the reasons and discussing the misunderstandings that may have taken place. Another example of the clarity of Garvey's lyrics. Embers of the Day is a very brief and simple track before Good Blood Mexico City, and this resembles earlier work by the band, but is a powerful and entertaining ditty with such a powerful chorus and frantic lyrics that see this as really quite a unique track within the scope of the album so far, nothing like it. And it all ends with From the River, which is a warm and upbeat closer with lyrics written by Garvey to be sung to his son. "If and when you cry, feed it to the flowers you'll find along the way. Funny, wise and kind, use those superpowers." This one is heavy on keyboards and has such a dreamy feel to it that it triggers really quite an emotional reaction in my mind, as if this glorious piece as a whole has reached its natural ending. And that, my friends, I think is the strength of this album, is all I want to do and will do is play the whole darn thing again straight away. I hope you enjoy this one as much as I did. And if you haven't yet got the album, please use the purchasing link in the description box below. And this helps to earn the channel a little commission and doesn't cost you anything. Thank you in advance. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And for exclusive content and reaction requests, have a look at my Patreon page. Thanks for watching.